Hey guys, just a quick video for you to dispel the myth of the sleep habit, of the early rising habit, I should say, right? Everybody sleeps, that's not really a habit, that's like an instinct, but the early rising habit is very much a misnomer. It's a misnomer because rising early, and your definition of early may vary, but rising early is not a habit. It is not a habit. It is, in fact, a whole constellation of habits. It's a whole collection of habits because let's say, for the sake of example, that you woke up at 5 a.m. today. Great. But let's say you went to bed at 2 a.m. So you got all of 3 hours of sleep. You're absolutely exhausted. Your attention span is zero. Your energy levels are in the toilet. You're drinking a cup of coffee every hour. You're not functioning at an optimal level. You're not functioning even at a functional level. So you can get into the habit of waking up at 5 a.m. every day, but if what you did the night before isn't supporting that habit, then it's a useless habit. In fact, it's not going to work. You're going to eventually just, snap, and you're just going to fall asleep for like 14 hours, and you're going to wake up in the middle of the day one day going, oh crap, what did I just do? So it's not true that waking up in itself is a habit. It actually depends on a lot of other habits that you do beforehand, which is why I don't like to say that if you want to learn how to wake up early, if you want to get in the habit of waking up early, you should start with waking up early. That actually doesn't make any sense. You should start with what I call the hard stop. And what the hard stop is it's the definite, non-negotiable cut-off point usually in the late afternoon, early evening, after which you are not doing any more work. And you are not doing anything that would stimulate you or interfere with the next important habit in the sequence, which is going to bed early and actually winding down so that when you go to bed, you're actually ready for sleep and you're relaxed and you fall asleep easily, right? So there's all of these little mini habits that happen in the sequence. So for example, let's say that your hard stop is at 6 p.m., which is usually when I stop working for the day. And even if I have a whole ton of other stuff to do, and there's always a more stuff to do, always. You're like, oh man, what about those emails? Oh man, I really have to reply to this client. They're gonna be pissed. Like, oh man, I meant to send that person that payment link, etc. Man, that stuff is not going anywhere. There are legitimate emergencies, okay? We all know this, but when you learn to let go and just say, nope, it's 6 p.m., I've done all that I could do today. If you have, then you'll feel satisfied that you've done what you needed to do. You'll be able to let it go. It's hard. It's really hard at first, I must admit. But once you do that, you will find that when you wake up the next day, all of that stuff that you thought was so urgent has not gone anywhere. It's still there. You may get like a frantic follow-up email from somebody, but nothing terrible has happened. It's not a catastrophe. It's not a disaster. It's not going to do anything to like ruin your business, okay? Obviously, your mileage may vary. You know your business. You know what you can and can't get away with, but I'm speaking for myself and in general that probably whatever you're catastrophizing in your head is not that big of a deal. So you make your hard stop at 6 p.m. and then let's say that you get a bite to eat. Let's say you have some dinner. And so the dinner, that's another part of the sequence. If you eat too much, or if you eat the wrong thing, or if you drink alcohol along with your dinner, or if you eat your dinner too late, all of these things are going to interfere with the next thing in the sequence, which is winding down and sleeping, or making yourself ready for sleep and having a good sleep. Because if you eat too much, that's a hugely energy intensive process for your body, this digestion of food. So if your body is digesting food while you're trying to sleep, while you're trying to recuperate, those are two conflicting, your body is working at cross purposes. It can't both expend energy and replenish energy efficiently or effectively. One of the two, or both. And you will, if you just do this experimentally, I'm sure you've known in your life, if you've eaten too much, it messes with your sleep. Or if you drink, I don't know, too much alcohol, it messes with your sleep. And for some people, a little bit of alcohol actually doesn't bother them at all. For some people, even one drink impacts their sleep.